Welcome to CCS TV News, where we bring you highlights and happenings from Coweta County Schools. For the week of October 30th, I'm Dawn Revere of the Central Educational Center.
And I'm Josh Johnson of Northgate High School. We'll take a look at events coming up in the Coweta County school system. But first,
at its October 10th meeting, the Coweta County Board of Education heard a report on Coweta's 2023 high school graduation rates, released by the state of Georgia that day. Coweta County System Assessment and Accountability Director Jillian Andrew noted that even as Georgia graduation rates rose statewide in 2023, Coweta's high school seniors graduated at a rate of about 7 percentage points higher than their state peers this year.
The state graduation rate is at 84.4%, which is an all-time high for our state. Coweta County joined about 100 other school districts with a graduation rate over 90%. We were at 91.7%. East Coweta High School's graduation rate was 90.8%, Noonan High School 91.7%, and Northgate High School 93.8%. We're proud of the hard work that the teachers and students have done and are excited to celebrate their accomplishments.
Board members, I do want to point out that graduation rate is a record for our school system at 91.7. And as some of you may remember hearing me say before, graduation rate isn't just about high school. That is representative of a lot of great work that goes on in our system pre-K through 12th grade. It takes a true team effort to get kids graduated across the stage in May of that senior year, and I couldn't be more proud of the work that's going on across our system. So thank you guys for that.
This year's graduation report wasn't the only bit of good news in terms of student performance.
The national average for the graduating class of 2023.
Secondary Curriculum Director Chase Puckett reported to the school board about Coweta's recent SAT performance of 1068 on the college entrance exam for the class of 2023. The average was a full 65 points above the national SAT average and 23 points above the state of Georgia's average. Following Tuesday's board meeting, Coweta also received a report on the ACT college entrance exam. Coweta's 2023 graduates continued their run of high performance on the report, showing high performance rates on the college entrance exam during a year that exhibited decreases in student performance on the ACT nationwide. We caught up with Dr. Puckett to explain.
We're excited that we're continuing the trend in Coweta County to beat the nation when it comes to our standardized assessments. And this year we tied the state, but we're also continuing a trend that started several years ago where every year our scores are getting stronger and stronger. I was surprised to see that the national scores are declining in the ACT while our state of Georgia and Coweta County continues to trend up, and all three of our high schools are doing a fantastic job of closing any gaps that we may have seen from students. And it's a good trend to know that every year our scores are solid and getting stronger.
And 4 elementary schools were honored at Tuesday's board meeting for their recognition as 2023 Title I Reward Schools and Title I Distinguished Schools.
To recognize Title I schools for making significant progress in improving student achievement or significant progress in closing the achievement gap, the Georgia Department of Education honors K-12 schools through the Title I Achievement Awards program. This program recognizes and honors 3 categories of schools: Title I Distinguished Schools, Reward Schools, and National Distinguished Schools. First, I would like to recognize 2 of our Title I schools as 2023 Reward Schools, Western Elementary and Welch Elementary. These schools ranked in the top 5% of Title I schools in the state, making the most progress in improving the performance of all student subgroups by comparing content mastery scores from the most recent 2 years of the GMAS assessment. Congratulations to Dr. McCharge, principal at Western Elementary, and Mrs. Smith, principal at Welch, along with their staff, students, and school family on a job well done. Next, I would like to recognize 2 other Title I schools as 2023 Distinguished Schools, Elm Street Elementary and Northside Elementary. These 2 schools ranked in the top 5% of Title I schools in the state that have the highest absolute performance for all student groups based on content mastery of the current GMAS. Both schools are eligible to apply for the 2023 National Distinguished Schools. Congratulations to Mrs. Addison, principal at Northside, and Dr. Hildebrand, principal at Elm Street, along with their staff, students, and school family on an awesome job. I must mention that Elm Street also received the 2022 National Distinguished School Award a couple of years ago. All 4 schools will receive a certificate and a flag or a medal sign to display at their school.
Now for a look ahead at upcoming events in our school system with East Coweta High student Olivia Rodriguez.
Following Coweta's fall break earlier this month, Coweta County Schools' next holiday break comes for Thanksgiving, November 20th through the 24th. The community can also look forward to high school football action and the end of the regular season region play football in the coming weeks. The Noonan Cougars travel to Douglasville for their last 2 regular season games, facing Douglas County on October 27th, then New Manchester November 3rd. The East Coweta Indians played Westlake in Atlanta on October 27th, followed by Pebblebrook and Mableton November 3rd. And the Northgate Vikings had a bye week October 27th and faced Drew at Henry Selden Field on November 3rd for their last regular season game. Ticket information can be found on the East Coweta, Noonan, and Northgate High School websites. The Old South Marching Band Festival takes place on November 4th this year in Noonan High's Drake Stadium. And at the Nixon Center for Performing and Visual Arts, the Noonan Crossing Elementary 5th grade musical will be held Thursday, November 2nd, and on November 7th, Noonan High School will hold its Veterans Day concert. East Coweta High School will hold its fall band concert on Tuesday, November 14th in the center's main auditorium. And on November 16th, jazz vocalist Carla Harris will perform in a community holiday special in the center's Black Box Theater. For more information about tickets and other upcoming center events, go to www.thenixoncenter.net.
Thanks, Olivia. At their October 10th meeting, the Coweta Board of Education also approved a $4 million bid proposal submitted by J&R Construction Company for construction, renovations, and modifications to softball field houses at each high school.
This is something that we've had on the facility report for quite a while. These projects are a long time coming for our softball programs at each school. And with your approval, we'll be able to get the process kick-started.
I'd asked Dr. Horton yesterday when we spoke to send me just some plans or pictures or renderings or whatever the field houses, and I looked at those today, and boy, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a great improvement for our softball programs. Mr. Cheek, thanks for sending those, and looking forward to seeing this get started. And I don't know the time frame, but upcoming softball season, they'll be in new field houses. So.
The school board recognized Eastside Elementary School for their honor as a Georgia Literacy Leader earlier this month. Among 155 Georgia schools recognized by the Georgia Department of Education for outstanding student achievement in literacy and reading mastery in the state or student growth in reading proficiency, Eastside was the only school in Georgia to be recognized for both distinctions last year. In addition to honoring Eastside third grade teachers for their school's literacy accomplishments, the board also reviewed a phonics lesson plan for 5th grade students by Western Elementary School teachers.
Okay, and was it you, McKinley? Spell the word that you did not know how to pronounce.
I-C-O-N-I-C.
All right, boys and girls, I want you to get out your marker board, and I want you to write this first word on your board, please.
The Coweta County School System's focus on literacy and reading extends through all elementary schools. In September, Arnco Sargent Elementary School demonstrated that focus by holding a celebrity reader event to help kick off their students' year-long focus on reading.
We have an idea at our school. It's called One Book, One School. Each month we introduce a new book. So today we introduced the book Just Ask by Sonia Sotomayor. We had everyone from our superintendent, Dr. Horton, our school board members, we had central office staff, we had our school lead nurse, and our therapy dog, Charlie. So we had lots of different people here reading books to classes today. It has the potential to be a really big impact for our students, seeing themselves in the literature, having that school-wide focus on improving both reading and writing, and then also just having something fun to look forward to each month is going to be engaging and get everyone bought into this idea of one book, one school.
The board also heard about a proposed redistricting of Moreland and Glanton Elementary Schools, which will be considered next year to alleviate overcrowding at Moreland.
Board members, you'll recall a few months ago, I asked you to allow me to establish a district line working committee to look at the possibility of moving between 100, 150 kids from Moreland to Glanton.
The redistricting maps proposed by the Parent and Staff Committee have been posted on the school system's website at www.cowetaschools.net. A survey of Moreland and Glanton parents is available online through their child's school to take comments on the map options and proposed grandfathering procedures.
The Coweta County School System and community partners inducted 2 new Coweta Reach Scholars at a ceremony on October 25th.
Peyton and Kalia, do you commit to follow your school attendance policy and attend?
Kalia Cousin and Peyton Scott, both of Blake Bass Middle School and both heading to Northgate High School next year, signed commitments for the scholarships during the ceremony. The 2 middle school students and their parents pledged to maintain good academic records and graduate from high school. When they do, they're eligible for $10,000 scholarships toward attending a Georgia Hope eligible college or university.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your families and grateful that you have this tremendous opportunity. I encourage you to embrace it. I encourage you to lean on the support system that you have and the support system that you will have, because you're going to develop relationships as you move into high school that will carry you toward your dreams and aspirations.
REACH is a needs-based mentoring and scholarship program supported by funds from the state of Georgia, which are matched by local private benefactors. The $10,000 scholarships awaiting Cousin and Scott can also be matched by scholarships from several Georgia colleges or universities. In Coweta County, local donors Bob and Millie Coggin, Steve and Marie Swope, and the Edgar B. Hollis Foundation combined funding with state funds provided through the Georgia Student Finance Commission for the scholarships. The patrons of the center work with the school system to manage the program, and a local selection committee interviews applicants each year to select 2 new scholars. This is the 9th year of the program.
And finally, Noonan High School's rebuilding project passed a major milestone on October 13th with a topping off ceremony at the high school. A lunch celebration was held in the school's new cafeteria, celebrating the construction personnel who are building the new LaGrange Street facilities. The ceremony included the signing of the last steel beam to be placed in the roof of the new school, as work continues toward completion of the campus rebuilding by the summer of 2024. The beam was signed by Noonan High juniors and seniors, school staff, school board members, and dignitaries, many of who have had long ties to Noonan High School.
This day means so much because you get that beam set, the top out, you get dried in, and you're off to the races for the rest of the construction of the project, which means a timely opening in August next year.
You're right, and we're sticking to it. It was super important that it looked, if we couldn't keep it, if we couldn't save it, which we listened to our engineers and we knew we couldn't do that it looked close or to the same as it did prior to. And I will say they definitely hit the nail on the head. I mean, we're super pleased with it.
It's my understanding that once you're inside this building, at any particular point, you're going to be able to go anywhere else on the Noonan campus.
The safety component of it is so integral in today's time, and we're very pleased with that as well.
By them hanging the last beam up, they're going to start, the weather's getting ready to change, we're getting into the winter months, so they're getting ready to close in the final outside of the academic building, and then they're going to start building from the inside out. So this is a huge mark in construction as well as Noonan High School, and we're looking forward to entering the new phase of our building starting next school year.
That brings us to an end for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. CCS TV will return to bring you more stories from the Coweta County School System. Now we'll go to Superintendent Evan Horton for some parting thoughts.
Around this time of year, after our schools settle into a new academic year, and as the end of summer gives way to fall, a familiar series of reports begin to arrive for our school system. We get a peek back at how students and schools did on a number of objective criteria. Results from state milestone tests taken the previous spring are reported by the state. So are overall performance statistics on college entrance exams and completion rates for last year's graduates. These indicators can go up or down during any given year. We always remind the community and ourselves that no one indicator truly defines a school system, just as no one test can ever define a student. We pore through the data to try and get the best idea of where we're seeing success and where we can improve, all in the mission of continuous improvement for our school system and better serving students. This year's reports have been heartening. Georgia milestones for grades 3 through 12 showed Coweta students performing well above their state peers, and particularly on major milestones like the SAT and ACT, high school graduation rates, we saw big gains in strong performance from the class of 2023. ACT college entrance performance rose to some of the strongest performance we've seen on the test. This was during a year in which Georgia students generally outperformed the nation on the ACT and which saw significant decreases in national ACT performance. Similarly, during a year when Georgia students saw strong increases in statewide graduation rates, Coweta students performed even better, posting a graduation rate of 91.7%, the highest we've ever experienced in Coweta County. Our graduation rate's over 7 points higher than the Georgia average, even as our high school graduates have to meet higher graduation standards to graduate than many of their peers in the state. SAT rates held largely steady in Coweta County last year, but did so during a year that saw significant decreases in SAT performance nationwide. Coweta graduates scored an average of 65 points over the national average and 23 points over the state average on the SAT, making both our students and our school system and community very competitive among their peers in Georgia and the U.S. Our first reaction when we see strong student performance and academic growth like this is pride in our students and our schools. Those are the results of a lot of hard work on the part of students, teachers, and families. They are the result of a lot of hard work in our schools, pre-K through 12, that paid off in the form of many realized dreams. We're proud of what they've accomplished. Our second response, though, is that we want to do better. Strong student performance is the result of high expectations from great teachers and supportive schools. It's about working with families, providing a strong academic foundation in early grades, supporting students throughout their school career, and providing outstanding advanced opportunities for academic and extracurricular success. We're trying to do that in a lot of ways. It's why you are seeing so much emphasis on early grade literacy and building student performance in early grade reading in Coweta schools, and other initiatives. Past generations in Coweta were committed to student success, and we're committed to carrying that forward as well. Congratulations to our schools and students. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.